Hey guys, in today's video, we're checking out an insanely affordable wireless true stereo in-ear monitor system. This is the Anleon S3. So I've reviewed a ton of wireless in-ear monitors before on my channel. The Anleon series has been one of the most requested ones that I've gotten from you guys in the comment section. Finally got my hands on one and I've been gigging with it. It's been really impressive how well this thing works at such an affordable price. This is really an insane deal. So I'm going to go over that and see if this is something you can be interested in. Last week I did review the S1, which is a wired solution, as well as the S2, which is even cheaper. The S3 is definitely meant more if you actually plan to use in-ear monitor systems live with a band. These seem to be more meant to compete with the entry-level Shure and Sennheiser systems. Definitely been very impressed with it. I do want to thank you guys for suggesting this, and I did reach out to Anleon to say, hey, I've gotten a lot of requests for this. I have a YouTube channel. Can I check out this product and do a review on it? And they agreed to it, and they sent it to me to check out. It is not a paid video. They just sent it to me to review, and all the opinions in here are my own. But I wanted to thank you guys for the suggestion. And if you have any other suggestions, please feel free to leave them down below. Spoiler alert, I think this system is really awesome, and this is definitely a system worth looking into if you're interested in using in-ear monitors live. But I'm going to go over the pros and cons with it and see if it's something that you could be interested in. Before we get started, I post videos like this all the time, stuff on wireless, in-ear monitors, gear reviews, finding cheap stuff for musicians on Amazon that actually works, stuff like that. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell to be notified when I put out new videos, and hitting the thumbs up button is a free way to support the channel. If you have no idea what in-ear monitors are, you should watch my beginner's guide to in-ear monitors to get the understanding of what in-ear monitors are, and then come back and watch the review of this in-ear monitor system. I'll post a link to that up above and down below. All right, let's go ahead and check out the S3. All right, it's a very basic system. You get your transmitter, you get your receiver, you have an antenna, and you have a power supply. Plug in the power in the back and screw the antenna in back here. And it locks up like this. So in the back here, you do get inputs for XLR or quarter-inch. It does accept either, which is awesome. I'm always a fan of that. Even like the Shure entry-level ones only accept quarter-inch, which is kind of obnoxious. Doesn't have to be right angle. I just grabbed a right angle one. But whatever you're trying to get into your in-ear monitors, that's where you plug in back here. If you do want to use this just in mono, you would plug into the left. You do get an audio loop output, which is really nice. So you can go in and then directly pass that signal out, so left and right, and you can send that somewhere else. I did a video explaining how I used to use that. I don't really use it anymore, but that is an option. So in the front, hold the power button and it turns on. Over here, you have a direct headphone out. So if you want to hear what's directly coming out of this, and the volume control just controls that. This can be nice. So like if you want to share like a mix with like a drummer or something like that, if you're a singer or guitar player, you can get the signal wirelessly to you, and then your drummer plugs in right here. You guys obviously have to share a mix, but they get separate volume control right there. Here in the front, you have a few controls. Up or down controls the options, and set is basically you have 3 different settings that you can go through. So you can hit set and you can change the channel. So you can see I'm on A10, A9, keep scrolling up, B1, B2, B3, B4. So I'm on Group B, Channel 2. If you aren't familiar with what groups, channels, and bands are, I did a whole video explaining that. And you do get to see what specific megahertz you're on exactly if you do need to know that. So I'm going to just set this to B2 for right now. Pushing the set button again, you do get to mono or stereo mode. It gives you those are the 2 options. You'll want to be in stereo if you are getting a stereo signal in the back. If you want to have a wireless in-ear monitor mix that is stereo, that's how you would set it. However, you can, if you are just getting a mono signal, which is usually what I do, honestly, you can just get a mono signal. And I will show you how you can get 2 separate mono signals. One transmitter can send 2 separate mono mixes to 2 separate receivers. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but you would want to set that to mono if you are going to use it that way. And then one last thing, you have the sensitivity. You don't have a huge range, so it's 0 to -24. When I've been using this, I set this to -24 and it has been working great. But that is adjusting the signal that's going in here. So if you are clipping or something like that, turn it down. If it's too quiet, turn it up. And you do get an indicator. So I've just plugged in just a phone, but you can see how strong the signal is. So as I turn it down, you can see it's getting less of a signal, turn it up, and you can see how hot the signal is. It does give you a peak warning. So if you do peak out, it will clip. I mean, I probably won't get that from running just a phone in, but you do get to see that signal here. And if you set this to stereo, you get to see the left and the right. I'm clearly just plugged into the left right now, so that is what you are seeing. That's basically it on the transmitter. Very basic and very easy to use. Okay, so now that you know how the transmitter works, here's how the receiver works. So this lives on you. It takes 2 AA batteries. Just opens right here. It is very well built. It definitely feels a lot sturdier than, a lot of cheaper ones. Your headphones plug in right here, and you have volume control up here, which also turns it on. So here in the front, you have a few controls. So escape is always to escape out of it. Obviously, if you get into a menu that you don't want to be in. Set, again, is going to get you through the couple of different modes. You get 3 different options. So you get what frequency are you on? So you can see I'm scrolling between them. So I'm on group A, channel 12, now group B, channel 1, group B, channel 2, 3, so on and so forth. If you remember, I set the transmitter to B2, so that's what I want to be set to. So I'm going to hit set again. Am I in stereo or focus, which is mono if I'm getting a mono signal? So if you're getting a stereo signal, you're going to want to set this to stereo. If you're getting a mono signal, you want to set this to focus so that you get sound in both earbuds. If you're sending a mono signal to the transmitter and you have this set to stereo, you're only going to hear in one side. So set that to focus. And then you do have a high boost on or off. I usually just leave that off, but that's basically it. But that's all you really need. Volume control and set the channels. Now you do get a balance control. So if I push this button, it scrolls all the way to the left or all the way to the right, goes from 0 to 15, or just hearing both of them equally. Now, what's great about this system is that it is a true stereo system. So if I plug one mono mix into the left, say for me, and then one mono mix into the right for my singer, what I'm going to do is on this one's mine, I'm going to pan myself all the way to the left. And then if I had another one of these, I would give it to my singer and I would pan it all the way to the right. Make sure that you are set in focus mode for that. If you get it set to stereo, that's not going to work in the way you want. I did a whole video explaining how to do that step by step. So check out that video. That is a great way to save money. And it's actually exactly how I do it with my Sennheiser systems. Awesome that this is a true stereo system that you can do that with. Very cool. So let me set the balance back just to the center for right now. So you get a few things. You can see a battery indicator. Well, the light doesn't stay lit for very long. So you see a battery indicator. Maybe it's because my battery's almost dead on this thing because I've been gigging with it. So I need to charge the battery. Okay. So I changed the battery and it still doesn't stay lit for very long. So you can see what channel. So what group, which is group B, channel 2, and you can see the frequency display. You do get a battery indicator. As I showed you, I just put new batteries in so you can see that. So if you remember, this is set to B2 and this one is set to B2. If I change the channel, so let's just scroll up to B3. You can see that I'm not getting a signal up here, and you can see that it's saying, no RF as well. So let's go back, set this to B2. Now you can see that the RF is green, and I can also see that, I'm getting 3 bars of signal strength right there so that it is a clear signal. So that can be very useful as well. So if I turn the transmitter off, this is a good way to check to see if you're on a clear channel. So on B2, I can see that there's no signal currently transmitting where I'm at. If it was getting bars and my transmitter was off, that means I need to change the channel. But since I know that it's good, now I can turn this on and go, okay. Now I know that this one is more likely to have a clear channel. Very, very nice that they have that. But that is basically it. So there is not an infrared port. You do have to set it manually, but at this price point, that's completely fine. Okay, so as far as specs, so some of the most important ones. So the operating frequency bands, so you can see the different options that you have right here. There is one missing that I'll put on the screen as well. But you have different options based on which country you're in. Now, this is actually a pretty wide RF tuning bandwidth. So what that means is just the wider the range, the more options you have to find a clear channel. So these actually have 36 megahertz of RF tuning bandwidth. And again, that's just a fancy way of saying how many options of channels are there. The more range you have, the more options for channels you have. This one has 36 megahertz of tuning bandwidth. Keep in mind the entry-level Shure and Sennheiser systems only have 24, so this one actually has more than that, which is pretty awesome. It says you can use up to 8 simultaneous systems per frequency band. So in each of those bands, you can use 8 of these at once. The frequency response is from 60 hertz up to 13 kilohertz. It's a little bit smaller than most of them. Most of them go up to 15 kilohertz, but I haven't noticed a difference at all with them. I plug in, I use it. It sounds just like my other systems that have a higher one, but that's what it's listed at. I was not able to find what the working range or distance was of this system, so I'm just going to assume that it's over 100 feet. I mean, the S2 is listed at over 150 meters, which seems like really far. As long as you can go over 100 feet away from it, I think that's definitely a good price point. Something really interesting that I found on here under their FAQ section says, can you tell me if they will receive signal from an AKG or Sennheiser transmitters if they're on the same frequency? And it said yes. So that's actually really interesting. You can use this with another system. Really, really good specs for this price. And speaking of the price, it's listed at $300. That's a really good deal because the entry-level Shure system is $800 and the entry-level Sennheiser system is $600. Again, I think that this system is meant to try to compete with those in a cheaper way. $300 for a true stereo in-ear monitor system is an insanely good deal. And I definitely would recommend buying this over the S2 if you do plan to use it live with the band. Again, if you're more of an acoustic duo type of thing or something like that, the S2 might work for you, or you just want to use it at practice or at home. But if you plan to actually use in-ear monitors live, I would recommend getting the S3 over the S2. Purchase links to purchase any of these will be down in the description down below. Just do me a favor, if you guys do decide to get this system based on this review, those links are Amazon affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything to use those links, but it's a free way to support the channel, so I would appreciate it. Okay, so with all of my products, or at least most of them, if you watched my S1 and S2, I mentioned that I haven't gigged with them. Watch the video to find out why I didn't. But with the S3, I've been gigging with this the last couple of weeks, and it has worked really well. Main bands that I play in, we have a lot of wireless going on. In-ear monitors, there's wireless guitar, wireless microphones. I'm obsessed with wireless. Even if I play acoustic, I'm wireless vocals, wireless guitar, and wireless in-ear monitors. I love wireless. I hate cables. But there's a ton of wireless going on, and these worked great. Sounded great, worked really well, very easy to set up. I also try to have like other musicians use it as well. So sometimes I have to provide sound and in-ear monitors for the other musicians. So I had one of my other guitar players in one of my bands use it. He liked it. He said it sounded really good. And then I had my bass player in another one of my bands use it. It's funny because I always get like, B-roll footage of me using it live, and I caught him saying this.
Hey man, this shit works. It works great.
He had no idea it was filming for the product. He just was handing me it back, and that's what he said without me asking him. So that's definitely a good sign. So as far as pros and cons, I mean, the affordability of it is awesome. The fact that it's true stereo makes it even more affordable because, again, you can get one transmitter and two receivers and get two separate mono mixes. That's a great way to save money. That's actually how I gig with my expensive Sennheiser system. It's built really well. I thought it would be kind of like cheap plastic, but it's built really well. I like that the inputs are XLR and quarter inch. I like that you can see the signal, the RF signal, when you turn on the receiver. I love how many channels there are. I mean, that's a really wide RF tuning bandwidth that you have, and a lot of channels that you have available to find a clear channel. Probably the most important thing for an in-ear monitor system is having as many channels as possible. The more channels you have, the more chance you have that your in-ear monitors are going to work. It's one of the things that I mentioned in the video last week is that the S2 is very narrow. Only has 6 channels to choose from. This one has a lot more. So it's definitely much more reliable and actually meant for gigging musicians. Most of this video has just been the pros. For cons, I guess I only have 2. Is that one, it doesn't come with any earbuds, which is fine because I did a video about some affordable in-ear monitor earbuds from $20 to $50. Those $50 ones are really good, actually. So check that video out if you do need to get a set of in-ear monitors with these. I also did a video explaining the process of what it's like to get custom in-ear monitor ear molds, which fit into your ears exactly. That's what I use. So check out the video on that if you're interested in exploring that world. If you can afford it, it's definitely worth it. I do wish that there was a scan feature, scan for the best channel. But man, at this price point, I don't think I've ever seen a wireless in-ear monitor system at this price point that scans the environment for the best channel. If you guys know of one that has a scan feature that scans for the best channel and sets the receiver automatically, let me know in the comments down below because I'm definitely curious on that, especially at this price point. Overall, I think this system is awesome. It's great. It's definitely worth looking into if you're looking at diving into in-ear monitors and using it live, not just for practice. So I hope that helped you guys out. If you guys made it to the end of this video, please do me a favor, just hit the thumbs up button. It does a ton to help out the YouTube algorithm, so I would appreciate it. Again, purchase links are down in the description down below. They are Amazon affiliate links, so it is a free way to support the channel at no extra cost to you, so I would appreciate that. Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have any other cool wireless in-ear monitor systems or wireless or any other cool products you want me to check out, please leave them as a comment down below. Like I said, I found out about this product based on your guys' recommendations, so please continue to leave suggestions down below. I appreciate it. But yeah, check out some of those other products by clicking the links on your screen now. Don't forget to follow me on my social media pages at Scott Yule Music on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, mostly just on Instagram. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you want me to check out. Leave a comment down below with your gear recommendations for me to check out. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time.